I created the story engine because I've met so many writers who are walking around with just the most amazing story ideas in their heads, and for whatever reason they couldn't get them down on paper. I wanted to design a deck of cards that would let writers create their own writing prompts in their own style. Using the story engine deck, you can create new character concepts, plot threads. If you play Dungeons & Dragons, you can use it to create new NPCs, new settings, new magic items. I really recommend you check out storyenginedeck.com.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the D&D RPG panel for TBRCon 2024. I am joined by four incredible authors that you really need to check out. But in their own words, let's let them tell us a little bit about themselves, starting with Jeffrey Speight.
Hi everyone, Jeffrey Speight, author of the Archives of Evelium. Started with Paladin Unbound and now most recently Mystic Reborn, which came out early last year. Currently wrapping up edits on the third book of the trilogy, which I hope to have out sometime late 2024 or early 2025. Today I'm playing a gnome rogue named Iggy Edom, who is a addict of stinky cheeses and gets himself into plenty of trouble from time to time.
Fantastic. And Emily Inkpen.
Hello, I'm Emily Inkpen. I'm a writer of predominantly audio drama at the moment, but also books, which are not yet out. I do have, however, this one, which is fun. It's the Dex Legacy Season 1 Collected Scripts and Commentary, which is basically a guide, all the things you need to know about how not to produce an audio drama here. So if you're ever getting into writing audio drama and producing it, this is your, like step-by-step guide, exactly what you need to do for every single episode and how not to do it. Our lessons are yours. And so check it out. The Dex Legacy is a hard sci-fi audio drama. It's free to listen to on all platforms. And yeah, it's pretty hardcore. We're currently releasing season 2, which is going pretty well. Very happy with it. And today I shall be playing Theosatra Mithralon, a gold ancestry dragonborn paladin.
Fantastic. Satra for short. And,
Satra for short, yes, that's the name. Yeah.
And going clockwise, Astrid Knight is joining us.
Hello, I'm Astrid Knight. I'm an author of mostly fantasy books. My current series that I have started is the Mages of Velmyra saga, starting off with Perception Check, based around D&D and nerdy stuff, so I guess that's why I'm here. The second book in the series, Rules as Written, is probably going to be out this year sometime. But I also have some other books that I've written with some other people and stuff. If you find me on social media and stuff, that's all there. And then I am playing a human wizard named Renata Fell.
Fantastic. And last but by no means least, the incredibly traumatizing, scary looking Andi Ewington joins us.
Hi, I'm Andi Ewington, author of The Hero Interviews, which is my tongue-in-cheek take of the D&D world. I am playing today a tiefling, one of the characters from the book. This one is actually called Yolo the Mime Warrior. So I am deadly in my sort of gestures. That's what I'm aiming for.
Andy did ask if he could mime the entire panel, and I said, whilst that would be pretty cool, this is an online convention, and let's not do that.
Miming is like full body language kind of.
Yeah, his
right.
webcam isn't quite big enough, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And I am Tom Bookbeard. I write reviews for FanFiAddict.com. I am also one quarter of the four beardsmen of the Book Apocalypse podcast, which is really cool. You can check it out on the Beard of Darkness YouTube channel. But without further ado, let us go into the heavens, or at least the skies, because this is going to be a Sky Pirate D&D session for you. And we begin in Zenith Island, floating high above the land. It is a haven for skyfarers all, commonly sky pirates, but also merchants, an occasional traveler. And you all find yourself standing in the docks, awaiting your new employer, the gnomish Captain Kellen. It's a fresh and clear day, perfect for sailing the skies. Hint, hint. The dockyard is currently awash with bugbears who are loading, unloading 13 schooners that are currently hanging in the mooring chains of Zenith Island. What are you all doing at this point? Iggy, what are you up to?
I am leaning back against the rail at the dock, watching everybody moving around with a cautious eye, particularly the captain on board, who's also a gnome. I'm sizing him up. And I'm, of course, eating a wedge of very stinky cheese.
Excellent. Sandra?
I am basking in the sunshine as a cold-blooded creature. I would be definitely soaking up the rays, sort of like this. Yeah. The most dignified
Renata.
you can imagine that being.
Renata?
Renata is currently going around the docks. They have kind of this ridiculous, like, tricorn hat on, like, very typical pirate hat that probably most people aren't wearing right now, but they're just going around and just kind of tipping their hat to everybody that they see and just going, fine day for pirating. Fine day for pirating, isn't it? Good day for pirating. See you there. All right. And just kind of like trying to schmooze everybody a little bit.
I think I just want you to roll a charisma roll, we'll call it.
Okay.
Let's see how this is received.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
4.
So most of their responses are lukewarm at best. Most people, notably a mother with 3 small children, just hurries them away from Renata. You keep on going, doffing your cap, Renata. You don't mind at all. It is a lovely day for pirating.
Yeah, it's a great day.
And Yolo the Mime Warrior, what is the Mime Warrior up to?
Well, I think as all good mime warriors are, I am pretending. Sorry, not pretending. I am really testing the ropes, the moorings of every ship that I can see, to see how strong they are. Make sure they're nice and secure. So I'm doing the old,
Is this the actual physical ones or the invisible mime ones?
The invisible mime ones that only I can see and are aware of.
Okay. I'm going to allow you to roll, because we should all practice our rolling. Your choice, strength or performance.
I'll go with my performance. I've got a nice bonus of a plus 11, I believe, in my performance. So I think I can convince them otherwise. 2.
We're rolling so good already.
Whoops.
It's great.
Is that a 2 plus 11?
Yes.
Okay, so a 13. That's not
13.
entirely dreadful. Okay. As the rest of you watch Yolo the Mime Warrior carrying out this routine, you can't tell if it's the breeze and the wind, but it does seem like the boat he's doing this to is rocking backwards and forwards. Now, whether that's because it's the Mime Warrior pulling it or not, he didn't roll well enough for us to tell for sure. As you're all doing this, you hear this thud, thud scrape coming towards you along the dock, and you all look towards the source of the noise, and you see a very, very shabby, very ancient and stubbly bearded gnome coming towards you. He wears a stripy shirt and a very long, much too long, black leather duster, and he has not one but 2 wooden legs. He stops before you and just looks at you all. You must be the hired help. I'm Captain Kellen. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Now, which one of you is which?
Iggy Edom.
Iggy, much obliged. You, the dragon.
I pick myself up off the pier and straighten myself out and say, "Dear Sartre Mithralon, but you may call me Sartre."
I might even struggle with Sartre, to be honest, madam, but I will do my best. Thank you for accepting my summons. And the one doffing their cap. Your name?
Yes, of course. They take their hat off and just big, sweeping bow. Renata Fell at your service. I am here for the piracy.
I can pretty much guarantee we may experience some piracy, but we won't actually be carrying it out ourselves. I am a simple merchant, you understand?
Oh, of course.
I should think so.
Wink.
We appreciate your enthusiasm. And stop. What are you doing with that rope? Good grief. You must be the mime warrior I heard so much about.
I'm YOLO. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too, YOLO.
I let go of the rope.
The boat in question swings back, and you see a domino effect with several other of the ships, and the bugbears are now growling and snarling in your general direction, YOLO, and scrabbling to right as many ships as they can before they tip over and spill all their cargo thousands of feet below. So Captain Kellen crosses his arms. Well, they appear to have assembled quite the crew. Let's head to the local tavern, and I'll buy you all around, and I'll fill you in on what we'll be doing. What's your persuasion? Ale, mead, a wine, perhaps, or something softer like neat vodka?
Oh, I really just any variation of wine. I do prefer a good Merlot on a good day, personally.
Very fine choice. Well, unless any of you have any objections, I will proceed to order a carafe of the finest Merlot that you can find in Zenith Island. Come, follow me. He totters along, and you know when someone walks really frustratingly slowly, like it's not too slow that you have to stop, but it's not quick enough that you can kind of match their pace? He's kind of doing that. So you all stutter behind him, you know, not wanting to overtake him and lose where you're going. He leads you through the main street. It's a fairly busy day. It's a cobbled main street. There's timber frame buildings either side. Most of them are in various states of disrepair. You do pass an observatory, which does pique your interest. There's a very large telescope pointing to the heavens, and it seems to be the most polished of all the buildings there. And as you walk past, the very next building is the tavern, which is called 3 Sheets to the Wind. Captain Kellen opens the double doors and beckons you all through, and he already has a booth ready. You all take your seats in this pretty squalid tavern. Ceilings are low. The furniture is splintered, cracked, and it smells of very, very old and stale booze. But you soon have a carafe of wine. There's a plate of bread, cheese, meat, and bizarrely, the captain's ordered you all a bowl of grey porridge. And he sits there in front of you and goes, well, eat, drink, and be merry. Why don't you all tell me a little bit about yourselves and
how you came to answer my summons. Iggy, what adventures have you been up to?
So before I even answer him, I check out the cheese on the table and I disapprove and I toss it aside and I bring out some of my own from my satchel and lay it out for everybody to, partake in and everything. And it's there's a pretty heavy aroma. It struggles to fight with the stale ale and everything in the tavern. So start there and just say, I have 5 franchises of my cheese shops all over. And so I travel the world looking for exotic cheeses and, help out, do a little adventuring on the side to make ends meet when I'm on the road. Last time I bumped into Satra here, we got into a little mix up with a vampire.
Ooh, nasty business that. I used to run cheeses in me merchant ship, the Cloud Strider. I'll show you her in a minute. But I found that there's too many cheese pirates out there nowadays, and I found that it was not a pirate's life for Bree. Now, the dragon Satra, you've met this one before, you say. Well, what other adventures have you been up to recently?
Since the dragon, since the vampire incident, I have been joining various parties and following their adventures. I have been in various high-profile battles. You can definitely, if you've paid attention to any of the posters and the news articles of the time, you can definitely see my work in action. And yes, I have joined your party today in order to continue my fine work, ensuring that adventuring parties uphold the highest standards of morality where possible.
Well, I'm very, very glad to have someone of your stature aboard, and that attitude will serve you well aboard the Cloud Strider. And Renata, tell us a bit more about your exploits.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say they were exploits at this point in time. I'm fairly new to this whole buccaneer thing. I actually came from a family that owns a shipping company, so I was around boats and sky things a lot growing up, but never really been on one. There was some nasty business a little while back where I was supposed to get into an arranged marriage, and I was like, I'd rather not do that. And so I'm like, why not a pirate? I loved all the stories, so I'm a pirate now, and it's great. Still haven't been on a ship, but
well,
I'm looking forward to the experience.
Perhaps you'll find your sky legs sooner rather than later. Otherwise,
I'm sure. How hard could it be, right?
I'm sure we'll find out, my esteemed friend. And YOLO, are you part of a guild or something?
Well, before I start and to reply, I shall quaff my mime drink and eat heartily the bread of my mime food in front of me. But after wiping the froth that only I can see and conversing with the person that is next to me that nobody else can see and is telling me to get on and tell the story, and I say, I'm doing it. I'm about to tell him. I come from the Temple of Mime, which is a place in the far off lands of the endless desert, and there I honed my craft of mimery, and I became, from a group of chosen ones, I became the one true chosen one after a trial, which involved lots of mime gelatinous cubes and mime traps to overcome. And it actually ended with me having to fight, using mime daggers, the person I had fallen in love with while at the mime temple. And they did die, sadly, upon my mind blade. And now I am the one true chosen one. And now I feel my calling is to go out in the world and spread my mime amongst other people like yourselves who have got sky legs or legs that have possibly disappeared into the sky.
Funny story for another time. Me legs. I lost them, you know. Well, I hope your mime daggers are extra sharp. Now, you may not have noticed it, you four, but I were just testing you. I want to make sure that I'm not hiring just anybody to look after my ship. I have some very special merchandise. I do not want the wrong hands to reach. We have a short trip, only to Skymere, which is about a day's sail away. But the sky between Zenith Island and Skymere is rife with pirates. Pirates who've actually been on a skyship, Renata.
Pros.
He takes out a small slip of parchment and slams it down on the table in front of you.
One of you look at that.
I'll take it.
Do you flip it, hold it up, study it only on yourself, or what do you do with it?
I look at it for myself first.
Okay. Do a sleight of hand check for me, please.
Ah, okay. $21.
Oh, okay. Well, no one notices you having a quick look for yourself. Iggy, you see that it's a black spot.
Ooh. Okay.
Kellen squints so hard that his eyes disappear into the furrows of his brow.
Well, show the rest of them then.
All right, I pass it around.
Does anyone know what this is?
Well, it looks as though someone spilled a bit of ink on your note here. It must have rubbed out everything else that it said before. It's just a big black dot. Sorry.
Maybe someone mimed writing the rest of the letter.
I know what it is, I believe.
Didn't
very
do
bad luck
enlighten the
for
rest of
pirates.
us.
It's very bad luck for pirates, is it not, to receive the black spot? It means they're marked. I did some reading before this.
Well, much appreciated, Sartre. Aye, she's right. It's a mark for death. Now, I received this a few days ago. Now, the interesting thing about this is it's not just any old black spot. Observe.
He takes out a curved knife and he pricks the end of his finger and he just pinches it so a drop of blood falls onto the black spot. And you see the black spot form the face of, like the Jolly Roger skull and crossbones, but it's a tiger.
That is the flag of Captain Figgle.
Now, as he says Captain Figgle, the entire tavern goes,
Aye, it's true. Captain Figgle sent me the black spot. Do you know what that means?
No.
That green bastard is waiting for us right up there. He wants my merchandise. Now, my offer to you, 10 gold pieces ahead if we get safely to Skymere. Payment upon safely docking with the merchandise in the port there. I have reason to believe that Figgle is waiting for us along the way.
I lean forward and I look at him, square in the eye, and I say, "Tell us what the merchandise is first."
do a persuasion check.
Okay. 13.
He meets your gaze and he also leans forward. Because you're both gnomes, you both lean forward not very far over the table. So there's quite some distance between you staring each other down.
I'm not paying you to inspect my merchandise, Iggy. I'm paying you to look after it and not ask any questions. Do I make myself clear?
I just nod and sit back.
Now, you'll have a few moments to prepare. I'm heading to the Cloud Strider to get ready to set sail. Maybe if you meet me in about 15 minutes, we'll make our trip to Skymere together. And don't worry about paying for this. It's all on my tab.
He gets up and huffs away, leaving the four of you in the booth to yourselves. Would any of you like to do anything in particular?
I think Renata has just taken out like a very tiny, like, bound notebook and is just scribbling down notes that are not like helpful at all. Just writing down very dangerous, marked green bastard. just random phrases that probably don't help anything.
Anyone
I think
else?
Satra is internally wrestling, because as much as she would like to just be doing morally upstanding work, if the people at the port have paid for these goods, then it is only right that they should receive them without, them being stolen by this pirate mid-journey. But at the same time, not knowing what the goods are, when they could be illegal and immoral of nature, is potentially problematic for her as a paladin.
On that note, Satra, I will say that when Kellen dripped blood onto the black spot and it merged into the Tiger Jolly Roger flag, you felt a little pang of nausea, and it wasn't the Merlot. You sensed there was something off about the black spot.
Off, as in it wasn't genuine, or that it was...
You felt a pang of malevolence, of evil, which only you can sense given your paladin persuasion. Yolo and Iggy, are any of you doing anything in particular? Or
I would like to peruse the tavern and potentially walk with a pretend balloon that will not move in an attempt to cause merriment amongst the fellow pirates there. So I've got the balloon, I'm trying to push it, it's not going it down, it's going back up again. The usual tricks that one does to entertain.
let's roll a performance and see how well it goes.
$11 plus my 11, 22.
The thing is, Andy asked me to roll up this character for him. Regretting that now, aren't I? I thought it'd be funny to give the Mime Warrior proficiency in sodding performance. Okay, yes. It's almost as if there is a real balloon, even though you can't see it. Even the three of you are astounded at YOLO's ability to create this illusion. And before long, the entire tavern is in a circle around your booth, clapping and cheering and going, whoa!
Renata's just like,
I
wow,
hold out a cap that I do not have and ask for money.
Oh yeah, I toss in like 3 gold.
The rest of the tavern follows suit to your generous offer, Renata, and there's a very loud clattering of coins scattering all over the tavern floor, which soon causes the vast majority of the tavern goers to forget the balloon show and scrabble for all of this money and bite and kick and gnash and scratch each other, to the point where it becomes so frenzied, the four of you feel it may be a good idea to leave the tavern.
As we're leaving, Oh, sorry.
After you.
I would just say, as we're leaving, I'd turn to all of them like, wow, we have so much talent in this group, everybody. Like, this is going to be incredible. Yes.
Iggy, roll me a perception check as you're all leaving.
Not good. 8.
Okay. Yolo, Renata, and Sartre, you all exit through the door. Iggy, you don't see a stray fist coming directly towards your temple. What's your AC, please?
14.
Okay. You do get struck, but thankfully it's a glancing blow. It does wheel you around, and you see a rather large bugbear who's just taken a massive swing at your face and is now slightly off balance. What would you like to do at this point? I will call it an attack of opportunity if you want to attack him.
Yeah, I pull the cheese knives out and go for it.
Okay, roll to hit, please.
Is there one of my allies would be within 5 feet of this bugbear?
Yes.
Okay.
There's lots of people within 5 feet of everyone.
17.
Okay. The rest of you hear this double thud, and you'll turn around in alarm to see that Iggy has embedded 2 cheese knives directly into the pectorals of a bugbear, and then drags them down, and then pulls them out, and then casually turns around and leaves the tavern. As the bugbear sort of looks down, his eyes roll back in his head, and he keels over, poisoned by your moldy cheese knives.
Should we do something about that? Should we? No. You know what? No, I leave.
No.
Like right behind him.
I'm walking out. I throw a hand in the air and I say, "He hit me first."
Yep. The moral dilemma here is clear.
Fair enough. All right. Cool. Good. I call over my shoulder. Good luck.
The bugbear in question is pulled back into the tavern brawl, and even though he's slowly dying from poisoning, he's beaten with even the less inch of his life by the other tavern goers. Now, as the 4 of you close the door behind you and proceed towards the docks again, there is a small purple tiefling girl waiting for you in the thoroughfare. She's clutching a scorched teddy bear, which is missing an eye and an ear. And she's wearing an equally scorched looking blue princess dress. She's incredibly grubby and soot stained, but she has a very defiant look about her. And she's very much blocking your way. What would the 4 of you like to do?
As a tiefling myself, I feel that there's some empathy there. So I present some mime flowers from out of my jerkin and hand it to her.
The tiefling actually takes your mime flowers and sniffs them. She puts her hand in her pocket and she brings out a closed fist and she holds it out to you. Into your palm drops a real necklace. The charm at the end of it is a onyx carving of a tiger head.
Ah.
She looks at you, Yolo, and she says,
Captain Fickle took everything from me. He ambushed us on the way to Skymere. He set fire to our ship. He killed my mom and dad. And he killed all of my friends. So I took this from him. That bastard really wants it back. I hope you can use it to deal with him once and for all. And with that, she walks away.
Did I get any funny feelings?
From the Tiefling girl?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool.
No. Nothing out of the ordinary, no presents or anything like that, as far as you can tell just from being in her presence.
I shall put the necklace on.
Okay. Are you all proceeding to the Cloud Strider, or would you like to do anything else to prepare first? Okay. So, you all head towards the docks again, and you see Captain Kellen there waiting for you. He stood next to a pretty impressive schooner, actually. Very ornate gold edges. It has 4 culverins, so pretty hefty firepower for a merchant schooner, you think. And he's flanked by 2 other gnomes. One of them is a bald gentleman with a very large ginger beard, which almost reached his feet. And on the other side is a pink-haired gnome. She is incredibly excited. She's wearing a dungarees. I was about to say lederhosen, not lederhosen. Brown dungarees. She has a wrench in her top pocket, and she's covered in grease. Sort of like engine black grease smudged from her face. And she's so excited, she is hopping from one foot to the other, having seen the 4 of you approach. So much so that Captain Kellen's actually holding onto the back of her dungarees to stop her from running at you all.
Ah, yeah, there you are. It's time for us to set sail. This here is Badger. Badger is the engineer, also the chief gunner. And this is No Hat. No Hat is your helmsman. He doesn't talk very much. Badger just sort of elbows the captain because I'm so pleased to meet you guys. Oh my goodness. We're going to have so much fun. We can draw, we can paint, we can tell stories. It's going to be like a pleasure cruise. Oh my goodness, I'm so stoked about this. Wait till I show you the guns. Oh my goodness.
Kellen sort of pushes her out of the way.
Are you all ready to depart?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Ready when you are, Captain.
Right. Welcome aboard the Cloud Strider. Me pride and joy.
Hey, allow me to take you on a brief tour. So you all follow Captain Kellen at his peg leg pace. He shows you the bow first of all, and Badger, in her excited state, sort of springs out from nowhere next to you. She points at the very edge of the bow, and she says,
Now, it's not just the 4 cannons I told you about. We got something special hidden under there.
now there's a big red button by the helm. You don't press it unless you want to destroy something. And when I say destroy, I mean obliterate. And when I say obliterate, I'm talking multi-generational death. Okay. So that's a new addition that I just put in. Okay. Maybe we'll get to test it out. I don't know. Hopefully. Yeah. Maybe we'll see a bird or something. We can try it on. Yeah. Okay. Kellen pushes her away again. Yep. I oversaw this installment of the moon cannon, as Badger calls it. Please don't use it. I'm worried it's going to shake the ship apart. I'll show you to your quarters, should you need them. Takes you to the back of the ship, and there's a very bog standard wooden ship's quarters. There's a writing desk, and he's put 4 bedrolls on the floor for you all. And there's a few bottles of wine and ale waiting for you all.
It also has an ensuite bathroom.
And this is your quarters. I'm the door opposite. If you need me, just knock. And if you need Badger, she'll often be up in the crow's nest. No Hat will be at the helm. And don't go into the hold. Well, I'll leave you to get your bearings.
He leaves you all in the quarters, and Badger and No Hat follow. So the four of you find yourself on the Cloud Strider. You all feel the hum and the shudder as she disembarks from her mooring chains, takes flight, and starts sailing away. Renata, can you roll me a Constitution check, please?
I was just about to say, yeah.
Right out of the gate.
Okay, all right. 19.
Excellent.
That's lucky.
You've been so excited and prepared to be a real pirate that you were just ready. You were ready all along. It's like you were born to do this. And you were pleased to hear you will not be rolling with disadvantage for the rest of the session, as
Good.
you would have if you failed that check.
I have a +0 to Constitution too, so I got really lucky.
Nice. Okay, so we've set sail. Now, what do the four of you want to do next?
Well, I have three things that are burning within inside me, and two of them have been told by the voices of the spirits that nobody else can see. One of them is telling me to go into the hold, while the other one, no, I'm not going to press the red button. It's telling me to press the red button. Well, I secretly want to attempt to climb the rigging using my invisible rope. So there are three things burning within me, and I'm not sure which one to do.
Okay.
Renata is just kind of uselessly going around at like the deck and like looking at everything and making notes, just like ropes for climbing. Like all this stuff goes over to the red button and it's just like red button equals multi-generational death. Do not press. Just kind of like general notes.
I see the note and I say, press the red button. I just whisper to Renata, press the red button.
Well, you know, I admire the enthusiasm, of course, but we have been told not to do that. So, maybe not the first thing we do. Like they said, maybe we'll see a bird or something, and then we can just really get it.
But then the captain did say that it would shake the ship apart. So,
well, yeah, there's that.
maybe we don't. I don't know. Sartre, I think, is going to, observe this conversation, obviously just interject that, and then is going to potentially try and find the hold.
Ooh, okay. Iggy, are you doing anything in particular yourself?
Yeah, I very much know what I'm getting myself into here, but I want to go find a Badger, and I want to start asking questions about how the ship works. I want all the details on how these things work and everything.
Okay. So, Sartre, you're heading off for the hold.
Quite.
Is anyone else following her?
I'd say Renata thinks that Satra knows what she's doing, so she would be, they would be inclined to go follow her.
Okay, so you two are going to the hold. Yolo and Iggy?
I'm going to attempt to clamber up the rig into the crow's nest.
Okay, and Iggy, you following suit to speak to Badger?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Even, we're going to go with Renata and Sartre first. Odd, we'll go with Iggy and Yolo. It's even. Okay. So, Sartre and Renata, you head out on deck and you make your way to the middle of the ship. where there is the staircase that leads down to the hold. Could you just roll me a perception check, both of you?
9.
11.
Okay. You
Distinctly average.
you both casually have a look around and try and take a bearing of where everyone is. Captain Callan and No Hat are on the bridge, but you don't really think to look up the rigging at the crow's nest because you're kind of just worried about Captain Callan because he's the one who said don't go in the hold. Which one of you wants to go down the staircase first?
I would say I look at Satra and I'm like, no, I'm all about exploration and getting to know the pirate life and everything like that. But we were told we weren't supposed to go down there. Is that?
I think that maybe you should cause a distraction. And while people are distracted, I will slip down into the hold.
Oh.
And therefore you will never be in the hold to be, the cause of any anger.
That's a good idea.
Can I interject? Smart. Can I interject and say that my rigging climbing is a form of distraction? It's actually an ability. So I could be doing this for you.
Oh.
Okay.
I like this. But do we observe then that the crew are already distracted?
I tell you what, you do notice Iggy and Yolo starting to assail the rigging. Well, you see Iggy is climbing up the rigging. Yolo is climbing in thin air.
Renata looks up and is like, how does he do that? Is it actually a rope or is it like some, like, I don't understand the mechanics behind that.
Do not ask questions of this person.
Gotcha.
He is beyond our comprehension.
I know. It's
Captain Kellen and No Hat are also like, what in the God's name is... Yeah, everyone's watching Yolo.
Before we become completely distracted by YOLO ourselves, I pull up the thing for the hold and push Astrid down and go in myself.
All right.
Okay. So Renata tumbles into the hold. Just do an acrobatics check. No, Dex saving throw. Dex saving throw, please, Renata.
Okay. Oh, wow. Unnatural 20.
Okay. Almost cat-like. You kind of tumble down at first, but you land superhero pose style on the floor of the hold.
They look back up at Satra and go, I don't know how I did that.
I'll even give you a point of inspiration for that one as well, Renata, so you can have that. Satra, are you jumping down after?
Yes.
Okay, Satra jumps down after them, and you both find yourselves in a very, very dark hold. Do either of you have dark vision?
No.
I do not think I have dark vision.
I do, however, have light as a cantrip.
Okay.
So I take out charcoal from my pocket that I've been using to take down my notes, and I'm just going to cast light on it and just hold it out kind of like a candle.
Okay. So Renata does this, and the incredibly dark hold becomes a gloomy hold. It doesn't become a floodlight. It's still pretty dingy down there, but enough for both of you to see a very large metal crate in the middle of the hold. And rather tellingly, that is the only thing there. There's no other crates, no merchandise. The only other thing really are the food supplies, cannonballs, weapons, the normal things you'd expect to see in a ship. Now facing you in this crate is a a small barred window. And Sartre, you can see an eye peering at you through the crates. A very draconic-like eye. And then you both hear, "Release me." And let's go over to Iggy and YOLO. You're with climbing the rigging. YOLO, you reach the top. Well, let's have you both do a contested dex roll and see who gets there first. Just to see if it's quicker to not use the rigging.
10.
9.
So turns out when you have something tangible and physical to hold on to and pull yourself up, it's slightly faster than nothing at all. So Iggy gets there first. And YOLO, you pull yourself up a little bit later. Bit like when you used to watch Gladiator and someone's not quite quick enough on the travelator and they come up second. So Iggy, you wanted to speak to Badger.
Yep.
She sees you pull yourself up and she just straightens completely, like, yeah.
Hey, Badger, you seem to know a lot about how these things work. I just hope you could teach me a little bit while we're smooth sailing here.
Oh, sure. Well, I like someone testing my knowledge about how skyships work. That's great. How much time have you got?
Until I'm called away, I'm all yours.
Okay, well, you notice we left Zenith Island, which floats, okay? You ever wonder why these islands float? You ever heard of the element called Etherium?
Sure.
So, Zenith Island, rich in Etherium. It displaces gravity, it makes the island rise up. A certain amount of Etherium means that it's going to maintain its present position. Now, what happens if you take that element, refine it, and then burn it in a ship engine? You have a skyship. Now, how'd you propel it forwards and backwards? I'm glad you asked. Gyroscopes. At the back of the ship, there's a huge gyro. Now, the faster we spin this thing, the more propulsion we get, the faster we go. Now, we can also alter the angle of the gyro, so if you want to go up and down, left and right, latitude, longitude, what have you, we can do that as well. It's wonderful. Now, we found this Cloud Strider completely wrecked, abandoned. I built this thing with my own 2 hands, and I think I got her humming again nicely, don't you?
Absolutely.
So that's the short version. Now, I wouldn't recommend touching the refined Etherium with your bare hands. That kind of went badly. But actually, don't touch it with your bare feet, which is how Captain Kellen lost the legs. Whoops. I kind of left a whole brick of the stuff lying around and he tripped over and his legs kind of melted. I mean, it wasn't my fault. I was going to move it eventually. I mean, come on, geez. And he was angry. Anyway, doesn't matter anymore. He forgave me because good luck finding anyone else to run a ship like this. Am I right? So what was your question again?
I think I have everything I need.
Oh. YOLO, you've kind of just pulled yourself up in the middle of all of this. Anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I lean over to Iggy and I say, touch the element. Touch it.
I nod.
And then I look out upon the horizon like this.
Iggy, are you going to touch it or?
No, not right now.
Probably for the best. That sounds, YOLO, like you're going to roll a perception check.
I am indeed. 15.
Okay. You look upon the horizon and you do see another ship.
Do I notice anything strange about it?
Not strange per se. It's just a little bit too far away to tell at the moment, but it seems to be heading directly towards the Cloud Strider, and it's picking up pace.
Okay. I turn the badger and I point in the ship's direction without saying anything.
Where? Ooh. She takes a telescope from her dungaree pocket.
Ah, shit. Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Do you want to see? She offers a telescope to Iggy and to Yolo.
I decline and I take out my own mime telescope, which is bigger and longer, has a far better zoom. You know, it's like double length, and I look through to see a better view of it.
Iggy, do you take the telescope when it's offered to you and have a look yourself? Yeah. Okay. Both of you roll an investigation, we'll call it.
23.
23. Okay.
17.
Okay. Yola, you can have a point of inspiration for the mime telescope. Why not? Okay, so you both get a good look at the oncoming ship. Really, the main thing you both notice when you've zoomed in is the figurehead at the front, which is far larger than any figurehead should be. It is a snake-like woman-looking viper. It looks just like a Marilith. It is there with all of its 6 blades and 6 limbs. It's an incredibly beautiful demon that's been carved onto the ship. Behind this imposing figurehead is a very raggedy ship painted entirely black, and you can see it is teeming with goblins who are all very excitedly hopping up and down. You can see them priming weapons, you can see them sharpening swords, getting the cannons ready, and it does not look good. Let's go back down to the hold. So you two have missed the explanation of how skyships work. Thank you very much, Jeff, for putting me on the spot there. And you've just heard the release me request from inside of the crate. What would you two like to do next?
I whispered to Satra, so I might be new to this, but I think that releasing whatever's in there is a bad idea.
I think we need more information.
Okay, sure.
Is that thing a dragonborn?
You could get a little bit closer and inspect the window and find out.
He said it was lizardy.
It was Drakon-like.
Yeah. So I'm going to be like, I know that not all dragonborns are good. Like, I'm not under any illusion there. But I think that we need more information. I mean, like, you know, this could be dodgy business. So, yeah.
Transport
of slaves is a problem in the world. So
I will hold like the charcoal out as far as I can in front of me, but I'm like not moving forward any more, and I'm just like, does that help?
After you do this, you hear a scrabble of claws inside the crate, almost like it's scrabbling away from you. And then there's a pause, and whatever is in this crate hurls itself full force at the door with an almighty crash. Now, thankfully, the door holds, but you get the sense of whatever's in there is rather large. almost, and Sartre, now that you've seen a little bit more, almost like it's not a dragonborn, but very much a dragon.
Oh boy.
Okay. I want to chat to this thing, if I can.
Of course.
Do we see what color it is?
Not in this light.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite a small hole, right? Because
It's kind of
Okay, yeah.
like, yeah, sort of nail slot size.
yeah. So, okay, so I sort of approach slowly. So I say, "Can you tell me your name?"
Nillanan.
Milanan. Milanan. Okay. And
Very
who
good to
are
meet you.
It's very good to meet you. Yeah.
Release me.
Why are you in there in the first place?
It doesn't matter.
I think it matters quite a lot. Why you're in
Matters
there
a
in the first
lot,
place.
actually.
It does. Yes. Milanan, I'm sorry.
Release me. I will help you.
You don't know that we need your
To
help,
find
Milanan.
great riches. They're yours. Let me out.
Sounds very much like bribery, and I'm afraid I am put off, and I turn around and walk away.
Yeah, you do sound a little desperate, and yeah.
It's in a crate.
Yeah. You know what?
Yes, you are.
You're right. If I were locked in a crate, I would probably also be desperate. However, we might not take you up on that.
Yes. Blackmail is not the way out of this particular crate, Milanan.
No.
No.
Black.
You of the dragon blood. You would turn your back on your kin like this.
Not all of my kin are good people.
There's a pause. And then the dragon roars. And through this mail slot size window, a cloud of green liquid and smoke pours out. Can you both make me a Dex saving throw, please?
Oh, God. Okay.
10.
Oh, no. 1.
Ah. Okay.
Okay, this isn't going to go well.
So, as both of you are turning your back on this dragon and leaving it, it was very upset by this course of action and used its breath attack on you. And neither of you got out of the way. Can you both make a Constitution saving throw? I'm going to ask you to do it with disadvantage because of the natural one.
Oh, just Emily?
It's a 4.
Both of you.
Both of... Okay. Are we both rolling at disadvantage, I should say?
No,
Can
just
I roll again?
Oh, just Emily. Okay.
Look at me rolling.
I got a natural
No.
20, so...
Oh, thank God. Okay, I got a 4, so at least one of us looks like they're surviving.
Really because of the natural 20. You do get the jump on the situation before the breath actually reaches Sartre. Do you want to try and push her out of the way?
Yep, I'm gonna like grab her by the back of her coat or shirt, whatever she is, and just
We'll call that. We'll just call that dexterity.
Okay. 11.
I mean, it's better than a natural 1.
It is.
Okay.
I'm getting another dice.
Yeah. You push Sartre out of the way, but not quite fast enough. God, I did not bring enough D6 to the party. 1, 2, You take 25 points of damage, Sartre.
Ow! Really?
Mm,
Ah.
yeah. Can you make
Okay,
me a
so I'm
Constitution
currently-
saving throw, please?
Oh God, do I? Okay, like random dice. Okay, 4. Come on, 4.
I'm not going to punish you any further. How much health do you have?
33.
I'm just going to say at this point you fall on the floor and your health has dropped to 0.
What?
You're not dead. You're not dead. But you have just been gassed by Nilan, the green dragon. We'll go back to the top deck. Iggy and Yolo, do you want to do anything about the oncoming goblin ship?
Go ahead, YOLO.
Red button.
Oh God.
Patrick goes, did you say red button?
Red button time.
Let's do it. Badger, from another pocket in the dungarees, takes out a very small zip line, hooks over one of the lines, and zips down to the helm. Yolo, would you like to mime follow her?
Yes, please.
Could you mime
you
check
may-
on us and then heal me first? Could you?
Did we hear any of this going on? by the
Well,
way?
Yolo is I'm not going to make you roll for it because of your ridiculous performance, and this is pretty much you're rolling down an invisible mime line as a mime warrior. You're sliding down as you're midway towards the helm. That's when below you see this jet of green, which just splashes up from the grill of the hold. Iggy, you'd notice this as well. Yola, you're too far committed to the zip line down to the helm, but Iggy, what would you like to do? Do you want to zip down or do you want to investigate what's happening in the hold?
Drop to investigate the hold.
Okay. You amble down. Again, you're just doing this on your own. You can move fairly quickly for a rogue, and you assumably run down the stairs.
Yeah.
Okay. You book it down the stairs quickly as you can. You see Sartre lying on the floor, just sort of convulsing. Renata looking down at Sartre and looking back to the crate.
I didn't do that.
So Iggy and Renata and Sartre, what do you do at this point?
What can I do? That's a silly
Sartre,
question.
you can do your first death saving throw.
Oh, yay. Okay. Oh, 20. I like this dice more.
Excellent.
Well, I can't heal anyone, so I'm going to start pulling, try to drag her up the stairs.
Well, she now has 1 HP. So that's a start.
Yeah.
You pull yourself to your feet. It's very hard to kill Sartre, the Dragonborn Paladin. You stagger to your feet. You're not feeling great, but
You're not
you
dead.
don't need to worry.
Oh, God.
Don't need to worry about the poison. You're not dying anymore. You're just very, very injured.
Okay.
Yeah, so Iggy and Renata, are you helping Sartre up the stairs, or Sartre, are you doing anything yourself?
I think I can stumble, and I've got claws, right? So I can grip in. So it's not a case of sort of it's like I can actually on a wooden staircase. I think I'd be quite handy even on the stumble.
You leave the dragon just roaring and cursing your mothers and fathers and families and anyone else you can think of, and yeah, you're back on deck. Yolo, you land on the helm, and Badger is chattering very excitedly with a very stony faced Captain Callan. He doesn't look convinced by her attempts to push the red button.
I will attempt to put an invisible banana behind the captain, hoping that he falls on my said invisible banana, allowing Badger the opportunity to press the red button on our behalf.
Okay. So Yolo is throwing or walking up and placing.
Eating first. I've got to eat it, and then I've got to just throw it behind me like that after I've eaten it. So it's all
Okay. Roll a dexterity check. I'll call it a ranged attack.
19.
Okay, yeah. You lob your imaginary banana peel, and it may say noiseless splotch behind Captain Kellen.
Perfect. I wait.
Right.
Job done.
Iggy, Sartre, Renata, where are you going? And you have all noticed there is an oncoming ship at this point as well. Oh, and actually, at this stage, it's just close enough for you all to hear what the goblins are singing.
Getting in a pickle with Captain Figgle, sailing the sky with a lie. Tremble in fright before our cannon strike. We'll blast you right out of the sky, high.
Okay.
That
right.
was so lovely and so terrifying. What are we gonna do?
Are the crew starting to run to the cannons and everything, like manning weapons and everything? All right.
The crew of the Cloudstrider is yourselves, No Hat, the helmsman, Badger the engineer, and Captain Kellen.
Okay, so yeah, I run over to a cannon.
Nice. Iggy's manning a cannon. Sartre, Renata, what are you two doing?
I'm quickly going to cast False Life on myself to give myself some temporary hit points. 7 extra hit points. And then I'm going to be readying my flintlock pistol and trying to load it because I don't think I properly knew how to load it myself. So I'm just kind of taking the little thing and shoving the powder in, and I'm like, oh, is this working? I don't know.
You've read all the books on how to do it. Is this the
Yes.
first time loading a flintlock as well? Excellent.
Yes.
Sartre, what is she doing?
I am very quickly looking up what spells I might have to heal.
I have no healing spells and I feel terrible, but
I am wondering if I have any. Oh my god. Okay.
I tell you what, I'll allow you to have the presence of mind to have grabbed 2 health potions from the hold. So if you want to down those and roll 2d8,
I do.
you can
I
restore
very
that many
much do.
hit points.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
Because
very
I don't
much.
think you do have anything other than lay on hands.
No, yeah, exactly. And that one's, yeah,
Good for other people.
it's great for other people. It's very generous. Not great for me. I'm going to say that my faith in the dragon down in the hold has not been restored, given this event. My inclination to help them has, not. It's at 0. I would say.
I mean, the feeling is more than mutual from the dragon's perspective as well, if that helps any.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay. So 2d8s, roll those, add that to your hit points. Let's go back to YOLO whilst you're doing that. You've lobbed a banana, it's landed behind Captain Kellen. What are you doing next?
I am attempting to throw my invisible lasso that I've got on me.
Okay.
Throwing him and slowly pulling him towards the banana.
Okay. Didn't you throw the banana behind him?
Yes. So he's going to be... I am behind him, right?
Okay,
Or
yeah, sure.
the way I'm seeing it is I'm behind him. The banana's behind him.
Gotcha.
He's going to be
okay.
hooked round, and I'm going to pull him into the banana.
Yep, fine. Roll dexterity, please. See if you hit. Or performance. I'll let you choose. Why not?
I'll choose performance if that's better. That's a total of 19.
Nice. So Captain Kellen, whilst he's remonstrating with Badger, suddenly, as he's pointing and gesticulating, his arms shoot down by his sides, and he's jerked backwards. And amazingly, his 2 wooden peg legs hit the imaginary banana skin, and he falls backwards. Oh dear. Unfortunately, he's so off balance, he keeps going, hits the back of the ship, does a backflip over the edge, and then plummets to the ground below, and you just hear the...
Is this close enough where I can see? Is this close enough where I can see that happening?
Well, you're sort of just come out the hold. You're watching it all happen above you, so you just see the captain go backwards over.
Okay. As long as he's within 60 feet, I'm going to point him, cast Featherfall.
Ooh, okay, nice. So essentially, Captain Kellen is parachuting down to the ground.
As long
wondering,
as he falls within 1 minute.
Yeah. Wondering what in the many hells just happened to him. Which does leave the Cloud Strider with no captain and an oncoming ship. And we'll roll for initiative at this point. I think the way we'll do this, you all roll for initiative for the ship. The highest one we'll call the leader, who will roll future rounds. Can you all roll initiative, please?
Do we add our initiative modifier or just leave it?
Yep.
Okay.
16.
11.
Iggy to beat.
Mm,
20.
13.
Okay, so Yola will be rolling initiative
Oh,
for
charge.
the ships, and you are going before the
Shit.
Goblin Pirate. Which is good. Which essentially means, Yola, you are acting captain, given that you've ejected
Oh no!
the current one.
Not gonna go well.
So whilst all this is
Red
happening,
button is happening.
No Hat just pulls out a pipe and starts smoking and letting loose billows of multicolored smoke. It looks rather nonplussed, but he's going with it. Badger leans over the side down at Captain Kellen and goes, "Don't worry, Captain. We'll deal with the pirates for you." Okay, so the way initiative and combat's working in ship combat is you can each have your own role. There's the helmsman position, there is the gunner's position, or there's miscellaneous. So repairing the ship, enchanting cannonballs, anything else you can think of as another action. Iggy, I believe you're already on the cannons. Yolo, what would you like to do, given you got the 20?
I would like to press the red button if Badger is happy that we are lined up in the right way.
Okay.
Press that red button.
All right. Iggy, what are you doing? We'll go in the order I can see on my screen.
All right, so I guess I have to load the cannon first.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I've got fast hands as a trait, so that lets me use a bonus action to use an object.
I will allow it. Yep.
Okay, so I'll use the bonus action to load the cannon, have it all ready, and then are we, when I know we're in range or I'm told we're in range, I'll hold my action to fire.
I'll allow you to roll just in case, but keep the roll handy. Satra, what are you doing?
Very good question. So I've just got my my potions.
Mhm.
I've got almost half my health, so I'm feeling a little bit stronger. I think I should probably be investigating our defenses, so also looking at weapons and things. I'm feeling a little bit unsteady on my feet, but I'm thinking, you know what, if we've got some cannons and these people look like they mean business, so, you know. Yeah.
Just do a quick perception or investigation check, your choice.
Let me just have a look. Perception or investigation? Oh, lordy, let's just say perception.
Okay.
Oh, 19.
Nice.
Boom.
Okay. Hold on to that thought. Renata, what are you going to do this turn?
I think I'm going to run up to the helm and is anyone there? Or is it empty right now?
At the moment, no hat is on the helm, but he'd be
Okay.
perfectly happy to take instruction from you or give you the wheel if you instructed him to.
Yep, I will. Yeah, I'll just run up to him and be like, "Hi, do you need any help? Here." And I take my hat and put it on him. It's like, "There, now you're just hat. All right. Whatever you need me to do, let me know."
You just see a solitary tear trickle down his cheek. The hat is placed upon his head.
I love him.
He gestures for you to take the wheel, and he goes off and starts softly crying in the corner. Happy tears. So the way taking control of the helm works is you can either do offensive or defensive maneuvers. Offensive is to get a broadside, get a good shot with red button or the cannons. Defensive is if you're worried about the goblin ship. What would you like to do?
Well, I see YOLO really making a beeline for the red button, and I'm like, all right, this is happening. So I'm going to try and turn it to get it to a good firing aim for the red button.
Okay. Roll me a dexterity check then.
Okay. 10.
Okay. All right. So the way this plays out is Ronaldo places his hat upon No Hat's head, changing him to Hat. They then get a good figure for where the special moon cannon is, so they try to, assuming, stay dead on towards the goblin ship. Yeah, okay. So you maintain your present course, just make sure you're not going to veer. Iggy, you've loaded the cannon and you're ready. The moment you get sight, you are going to shoot.
Yeah, and from my conversation with Badger earlier, do I see any of the things I would deem important on their ship? The gyroscopes, the engine, like, emitting fumes or something like that?
Gyroscopes at the back of the ship. But you can still cause quite a bit of carnage because Badger has done these, has made basically Pedreros, so swivel cannons, so you can get quite a good range. So you can really choose any target you like. His mainsail is probably the most notable weakness. That's easy for you to hit right now. Or if you want to cause carnage by aiming at goblins, you can do, or aim at the figurehead. It's up to you.
All right, I'll aim at the mainsail.
Okay, what did you roll?
I rolled a 17. I don't know what the modifier is on the cannon.
We just got long range dex.
Long range dex. So my dexterity is a +6, so that's a 23.
Okay, nice. So that will hit. I'll tell you what to roll in a sec for damage. Yerlo, you mash the red button. Like, yes. And it's quite strange to you to press an actual button rather than an invisible one. But
quite novel.
Yeah, you manage it.
Quite like this.
Sartre,
Yes.
as the mime warrior does this, from where you are, a console pops up. And in very excited, rushed handwriting, you can see the words point this to kill something. And it's basically a little console with its own controls and levers. And in front of you, basically the entirety of the front of the ship drops and a large cannon extends directly in front of you, which is about 20 feet long. Renata, you kind of feel the weight of this thing dip the ship down, so you have to compensate, but you manage it. And you know the scene in Star Wars A New Hope where Luke's got the targeting computer? This basically appears on your console, Sartre. Would you like to man the moon cannon?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You can make me a dexterity check with advantage because Renata's got you in a good position.
18.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, Jeff, I'm going to call... How many D6s have you got on you?
I've got 3. And correction, my dexterity is +3, not +6. So it would have been a dirty 20.
Okay.
I was saving throw that I quoted.
Yeah. So Sartre, you're pretty much hitting. You've already hit. Iggy, just roll all of your d6s.
8.
Times it by 2. We'll say that's what the cannon does.
Okay, so 16.
Okay, nice. So what happens is the goblins rolled really badly, so you guys going first. Yola mashes the button. The console pops up for Sartre. Renata keeps the ship steady as the moon cannon extends. Sartre takes aim and presses fire. Iggy swings the culverin round and obliterates the mainsail of the goblin pirate ship. And this is the point where it's like this sapphire, brilliant blue light emits from the moon cannon. And this jet of plasma launches towards the pirate ship. And as this mainsail is toppling, essentially there's nothing left for the mainsail to topple onto. The entirety of the ship, save for the figurehead and one figure floating now in the sky, is left as 30 goblins all plummet screaming to the ground, along with bits of their ship.
I can't feather all of them. I'm sorry.
If you want to break your concentration for Captain Kellen to save one goblin, then be my guest.
They all land on Kellen.
Kellen suddenly trying to go, no! Batting away goblins with his sword. This does present you with a slight problem in that the figure tilts forwards and launches towards you Iron Man style.
Okay.
Sartre, you look at this figure and you get a bad feeling, really, really bad feeling about it. The figure stops just short of the Cloud Strider. It is a goblin with a very large, feathery pirate's captain's hat. Wears a majestic emerald green duster. His bandolier is just stuffed with flintlock pistols. He's swinging a very large cutlass around.
And he says, "Hello, my name is Captain Figgle. I really wish you hadn't done that to my ship. Now we have a problem."
and he shoots down onto the deck. And let's all roll normal initiative.
Oh, yes. 20.
10.
16.
So we are going Satra, Iggy, Renata, Yolo, and Captain Figgle is last. So Satra, you're going first. You're at the front of the ship, and Captain Figgle has certainly landed right behind you and is facing the helm. You do have a clear run at his back. What would you like to do?
I draw my longsword Talon, and I take a swipe.
Nice. Roll to hit, please.
17.
Nice. It hits. One thing you'll notice, though, as you swipe with Talon, when it hits Figgle's back, Talon just bounces off and does nothing at all. The very even stranger thing is, when you do this, you don't actually hit him. It's almost as if there's something invisible around him that you've hit first.
Oh, annoying.
We'll go to Iggy. I believe it was your turn next.
Yeah.
You've just watched Sartre come up and wail on Figgle from behind, and nothing has happened.
And I'm going to turn and yell to YOLO, the necklace. And then I'm going to run toward the Captain Figgle, flank Satra, and hold my attack for YOLO to do something with the necklace.
Okay, nice. Renata, it's your turn.
I have observed this. I'm going to come away from the helm, kind of jump down onto the main deck. And I'm having observed this. I'm going to follow in Iggy's, follow his example. And I'm going to hold my spell of Acid Arrow at 2nd level.
Okay.
Yeah, until something happens.
Nice. YOLO, what would you like to do?
Can I use my Arcana on the necklace to see if I can work out what to do with it?
Yes. Yeah, sure. If you roll an Arcana check.
Oh.
You can't work out what to do with it. But what I will say is, you're wearing it around your neck, aren't you? You have noticed that it is getting very, very warm. And Captain Figgle is going to turn around and look at you, Satra. And what's your AC, please?
17.
Oh, okay. Right. He turns around and he snags you with his cutlass. So just a blow for a blow. You take 5 points of damage.
Oh gosh. Okay, cool.
After he's done this, he shoots a look over his shoulder at YOLO. And he calls,
Give that back.
Satra, it's your go.
My go. Okay, right. So I know that hitting him won't matter. Do I think he's flammable?
Are you thinking breath?
I'm thinking maybe breath. It's a
You
one-shot
can-
thing, guys. What do we think?
You can try it and find
Give it a
out.
go.
I mean, we are on a wooden boat, so I was thinking of like, keeping it. But
We've got options for how we're gonna die, is what you're saying.
yeah, basically, like
Yeah.
we're not limited in option. We're not. Yeah, like, there's another one.
There's always Featherfall, right?
If I have enough first level spell slots left.
Okay, but at the same time, Yolo got to press the buttons, so I'm gonna. Yeah, he snagged me with his cutlass, and I'm having a really bad day already. So I think I'm just gonna go like just really.
Okay.
Go for it.
Sure. Remind me how your breath attack works. I think it's a spell save,
breath
isn't it?
weapon is as an action. Exhale a 15-foot cone. Dex DC 11, half damage on success for 2d6 fire damage.
Okay.
Don't know if you got all of that. Roughly enough to like, or you could just play fast and loose with whatever the hell.
So I'm trying to beat 11. Dex. No, that's a hit. Roll your damage.
Damage is 2d6. Okay, so we got 6.
GM question. I am
Yes.
standing opposite on Figgle to Satra. I called that out specifically. So do I take damage here, or am I blocked by him?
You're actually blocked by him.
Okay.
Don't worry. As is Renata. This is more effective than Talon was. Figgle does let out a scream as he's enveloped by Satra's fire breath. Satra, you kind of see it first that you actually remove some of his jacket and skin, but where you thought there'd be bone, there's tiger stripes. And we will go to Iggy.
All right. So where I see the tiger stripes, do I see them now too?
Mm-hmm.
Stab right into the patch where the tiger stripes are exposed.
Sure. You are holding attack.
Yep.
That's fine. Roll for it, please.
Uh, 16.
Yes, that hits. Roll your damage.
$10.
Okay.
10 damage plus, so 13.
Okay. Are you using a sneak attack here?
Yeah, I did use a sneak attack.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you rolled
And,
your extras.
3 of those are 3 of those points are necrotic damage.
Yes.
You know.
So you plunge your cheese knives into Captain Figgle, and instantly he snaps towards you. Foolish mortal, you believe your utensils can harm me?
Wait till you try his condiments. Sorry.
Renata, what would you like to do?
Seeing this, I'm also going to take my spell that I've been holding and shoot it off. So it's Acid Arrow. I'm going to try... Well, no, Iggy's got... Is there anywhere else exposed that, like, Iggy doesn't... If I were to shoot an Acid Arrow, I wouldn't hurt Iggy, basically. I don't want to splash anything on him.
No. I'm assuming the acid arrow would just inject acid directly into the
Yeah.
puncture site.
Yeah. Okay. 13.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good. Woo. Okay.
He's literally just wearing a coat. So.
Okay. I'm so used to it being like, oh, 19 doesn't hit, you know? So it's, yeah. So that's going to be 10 points of poison damage.
Nice. So, two things happen here. One is the area around where Iggy has stabbed has already started turning black as the blue cheese mold takes effect. And then I'm assuming that's directly where you've aimed the arrow. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, whatever skin was there is now melting and bubbling. And Figgle just does this.
Wordy acid. How mundane. I am disappointed in you. You call yourself a sky pirate.
YOLO. You're there with a warm amulet and you don't know what it does.
I'm wondering if the amulet will imbue me with the ability to do real damage to this this character. So I'm gonna pull out a trusty flintlock, which hopefully is already loaded. If not, I'll use my bonus action to load it. And pop off a shot.
Okay. Roll a dex, please.
Oh.
Well, it just sails harmlessly over everyone's heads.
Does it?
Yes, it does. You just missed very spectacularly with your mime flintlock pistol. This time you actually forgot to take it out of the holster and just did this. Captain Figgle. So Captain Figgle, he quickly disengages from Sartre, Iggy, and Renata. You will all have an attack of opportunity, but he starts sprinting towards YOLO. Who did the... Yeah, Sartre, you're first by initiative, so you roll your attack of opportunity, please.
5.
Okay, you miss. Iggy?
For my attack of opportunity, can I take ball bearings and throw them at Figgle so that he see if I can get him to trip? Okay.
Yeah.
What modifier do I add to that?
We'll call that a dexterity check, please.
So 14.
14 contested. Oh, he rolls an 8, so that's successful. He starts sort of Looney Tunes style scrabbling on the floor, like, "Ugh!" Renata, your attack of opportunity.
I do have a dagger, so I'm going to pull the dagger out, and while he's like flopping around and everything, I'm going to hit him. I already rolled it. It was a natural 20, so 25. Then it's going to be 5 points of piercing damage. And then I'm going to just kind of like get him in the shoulder and be like, I am a sky pirate. Thank you very much. And kind of just shove him down onto the ground.
It doesn't puncture the skin or anything like that, but there's enough force behind it where you do smack his shoulder off balance. And as he's already scrabbling from the ball bearings, he stacks it onto the floor. And he's just lying down on the deck going...
At the end of his turn, he also, from the acid, takes an additional 2d4 damage.
Okay. So as he's lying on the floor gasping, there's a little wisp of putrid smoke escaping.
He takes
From
2
the wound.
points.
Back to Sartre.
Yep.
What would you like to do? Enemies on the floor. Iggy and Renata just attacked him and sent him where he is on the floor. YOLO is there with the amulet and missing with a flintlock thing. Well, you haven't seen the flintlock pistol, you just seen him do this. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna take another swing at him with Talon. It's pretty much it's that or a heavy crossbow for me. So I'm gonna go, but I'm probably gonna go with like a stabbing kind of thing down into exactly the same spot that we've all been aiming at.
He's prone, so roll this with advantage.
4.
You kind of, because there's so many ball bearings around, it's hard to plant your foot and really get a good angle. So you become more preoccupied with not slipping over yourself. That Talon misses its mark on this occasion. Iggy, what would you like to do?
I reach into my bag and I pull out a small rod that has a button on the end of it. And I run up to him and I place it down over his neck as hard as I can press, and I click the button. It's an immovable rod.
Oh,
that
no.
will not move. The ship will continue to move. Everything will continue to move, but the rod will not.
Very nice.
Okay.
He's gonna try and fight you off, so let's just do a contested strength check. I'll let you do it with advantage because he's on the floor.
$14.
Yeah, you beat him. So you have incapacitated him with the immovable rod. Where do you place it? Around the neck? Around the torso?
Right hard against the neck as I possibly can.
Okay. So he's now pinned to the deck, trying to pull off the immovable rod, but to no avail. And he looks at you. The goblin face just melts away, leaving behind it a face of a tiger. In fact, the entire goblin outfit melts away, leaving this humanoid tiger hybrid. And Figgle looks up at you and just starts laughing. Very good. Very impressive. Now, take this off. Renata, what would you like to do?
I'm going to slowly approach again and say, I don't think we're going to do that. And I'm going to prepare Fireball. And if he escapes or anything like that, then that'll be when it goes off. But other than that, I'm just going to hold it.
Okay. Brings us to YOLO. Point blank, shoot in the face. Yeah. Nothing really happens. You discharge your weapon, but it hits, but Figgle's perfectly fine. At this point, now that you're standing over him, your amulet is white hot. Would you like to try to use it for a bonus action?
Yes, though. Is there any way I can attune to it? Do I know what to do with it?
I'd say you've worn it long enough to know that Captain Figgle doesn't want you to have it, and proximity to it is bad news for him. And you could move it closer. Now,
Can I put it on him?
Yes, you can. You place the amulet on Figgle, and as you're doing this, he starts. The whole cool air just drops, and he starts panicking. He's scrabbling around, but he's held fast by the neck. Where are you placing the amulet?
I am going to place it in the middle of his chest.
Okay, that's fine. As you do so, the amulet breaks. And Figgle then stops moving. And he looks at you and he says,
I really wish you had not just done that.
There's a lot of that going around today, buddy.
Nothing happens at first, but you all hear a hissing that's getting nearer and nearer, and a gust of wind, which more or less rips up into a cyclone. And in the middle of this cyclone that rises by the side of the ship is the figurehead of Captain Figgle's ship. Although you notice it is now very much animated and alive. And the cyclone deposits this very real Marilith directly over Captain Figgle.
No.
Can any of you speak demonic?
No.
I think YOLO might be able to, because he's a tiefling.
It says infernal.
Okay. The Marilith says something in an incomprehensible language to all of you, and then proceeds to take each one of its blades, and right before it plunges them into the poor, hapless, demonic pirate Figgle, he says,
You're not seen the last of me, mortals!
at which point the Marilith shreds him into ribbons. It looks at all of you, and then it shrugs, and then it leaps over the side. At this point, Badger and No Hat walk over to the four of you. Badger is so excited she can't even speak. No Hat, still crying and touching his new hat, just places a hand on Renata and on Satra and nods. And this is a stage when you hear a very far away voice saying,
Come back with my ship, you bastard!
And the four of you make the rest of the journey to Skymere safe and sound. So just to close us off, what would the four of you like to do at this moment?
Go into the hold and release whatever's in there.
Definitely YOLO.
I mean, do we release Milanan the dragon, or are we shipping the merchandise?
I would definitely need more information, and I am disinclined.
Yeah, no.
I would.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
left
not
of
happy with
Figgle?
that.
Figgle is just strips of flesh and orange and black fur. It's almost like someone has shredded a mattress, a rug. It's not pretty.
Oh,
Okay, well, I'll disengage my immovable rod, and then I want to check his body.
There's not really much on him.
Okay.
Far as you can tell, Figgle just was this otherworldly being that is now no longer among the mortal realm.
damn.
Yeah. Renato will just go to like Iggy and Satra and just place their hands on like either of their shoulders and be like, "Well, wasn't that exciting? We're proper pirates. This is so. I feel like I just want to like kick something or something. I don't know. That was good. We did good, right?
Don't kick me. I feel dreadful.
Oh no, no. That's. I'd probably just kick like the side of the boat.
Okay, where's the wine?
Oh, good question. Celebratory wine. All right.
And thus,
I
the
sneak
rest
to
of
the
the
hold.
cruise.
Oh my god.
That's the rest of the cruise became a booze-fueled. Did they or did they not release the dragon in the hold? Perhaps we will find out one day, but for now, we will leave it up to you watching. And on that note, thank you all so much for watching. We'll have to call that there because I believe we've run out of time. Thank you, everyone. That was a lot of fun. Completely not what I imagined would happen at all. But yeah.
That raises so many questions.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's all hang around briefly in the green room for a bit after this. But no, enjoy the rest of the convention. Please check out all of the authors' books, social medias. Jeff Speight, Emily Inkpen, Andi Ewington, Astrid Knight. They're all wonderful. Hold your books up, please, if you've got them handy. And yeah, enjoy the rest of TBRCon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
Tom.
you.
Bye.
Cheers.